Do you ever find yourself wondering how some people are able to maintain their composure in the midst of a storm, while the rest of us can hardly stand up when there is a breeze? Today, we are going to delve into the hidden world of Stoic women, who are known as the silent warriors of tranquility, and find out how they are able to transform windstorms into gentle breezes. This video is not just another one, rather. It is a key that can unlock a strength that you have within you that you were completely unaware existed. But I challenge you, stay with us until the very end, take in every word, and see if you don't leave this place a little more stoic and a little more unshakable than you were before. Also, if you discover that we have discovered something valuable together, something that will change the game, then you should subscribe to our journey and join us. Do you believe that you are capable of meeting this challenge? Well, let's find out. There is a group that stands out in a world where every individual carries a universe of peculiarities, stories, and dreams. This group is notable for its strength, maturity, and a certain aura of mystery that piques our curiosity. In this context, I am referring to Stoic women, which are figures who defy the expectations of conventional society and invite us to immerse ourselves in a sea of ancient knowledge. They continue to be steadfast, in control, and serene, even when the waves of life attempt to bring them down. Yes, they are like beacons in the storm. Imagine for a second that you are in the company of a woman who keeps a calm and collected demeanor. She possesses the kind of presence that can be felt without the need for words to be used. She possesses an independence that does not originate from a state of isolation, but rather from a profound connection with the fundamental principles of Stoicism and the essence of life. This is something that challenges the norms that are commonly accepted. Stoicism is a philosophy that has been around for a very long time and is still relevant today. It teaches people how to control their emotions, how to live a life that is guided by reason, and how to empower themselves to be self-sufficient. Nevertheless, what is it about these women that makes them so fascinating and admirable? It is straightforward, but at the same time it is intricate. There is something that many of us are still trying to figure out, and that is the art of living a healthy life. They have understood it. Not only is it about avoiding suffering or constantly seeking happiness, but it is also about navigating the storms of life with an internal compass that is calibrated by wisdom and reason. Stoic women are examples of a different path that emerges in a society that frequently places a high value on excessive emotions, impulsive reactions, and dependence on external validation. Stoic women are examples of a path that challenges you to look inward, to question your beliefs, and to construct an inner fortress that is completely unshakable. They live their lives with a sense of purpose, attaining a level of mental clarity that enables them to face the most challenging challenges with a surprising level of composure. The purpose of this video is to extend an invitation to explore this world and to learn about what it means to be a Stoic woman in the modern universe. Uncovering the mysteries of these remarkable women, gaining an understanding of how they incorporate Stoic principles into their lives, and possibly finding motivation to travel our own path with greater wisdom, resiliency, and independence are all things that we can experience together. So, are you prepared to embark on this escapade? We are going to dive headfirst into this journey of self-discovery and exploration, which will involve investigating the legacy of Stoic women, including their stories, the difficulties they faced, and the victories they achieved. You will realize that behind the apparent calmness lies a force that can move mountains, an unconquerable spirit that not only endures but also thrives in the face of the challenges that life throws at you. This will become clearer with each journey and each story that you tell. Stoic women are characterized by the following characteristics: A set of characteristics that, despite the fact that they may appear to be made of steel and determination, actually weave the essence of what it means to be a Stoic woman, can be found at the core of Stoic philosophy. These are not merely admirable qualities, rather, they are essential instruments through which one can navigate the turbulent seas of everyday life. Let's begin with self-confidence. A Stoic woman is someone who has an inner compass that guides her, as well as an unwavering certainty in her abilities and values. In order for her to understand who she is and what she is worth, she does not require the noise of the world. As opposed to being the result of arrogance, this self-confidence is the result of profound self-knowledge and acceptance. Another one of her many strengths is her ability to communicate directly. She does so in a way that is transparent, purposeful, and without beating around the bush. In her conversations, she does not engage in a tangled web of ambiguous phrases or covert motives. Rather, she expresses her thoughts in a manner that is honest and sincere, thereby facilitating communication that is both genuine and efficient. Her capacity to adapt demonstrates that she is able to flow with changes, much like water that conforms to the container that it is held in. She adjusts and finds new paths during times of turmoil, demonstrating that true strength does not lie in rigidity, but rather in the ability to adapt to changing circumstances. She does not lead by power, but rather by example, inspiring those around her to rise along with her. This is the kind of natural leadership that emerges from the combination of self-confidence, direct communication, and adaptability. In her leadership, she acts more as a guide than a command. There is something about her that is beyond what can be comprehended. It is a mystery that is not a game or a riddle to be solved, but rather an invitation to look closer, to understand that not everything needs to be revealed in order for it to be true. Perhaps one of the most fascinating qualities that she possesses is her ability to be enigmatic. The fact that she avoids engaging in gossip is a reflection of her honesty. She chooses words that are constructive rather than destructive. Not only does she have the ability to strengthen herself, but she also strengthens the fabric of the community that surrounds her by refusing to engage in conversations that diminish others. Her approach is non-judgmental, which opens doors and hearts. She listens without rushing to come to a conclusion, and she understands completely before responding. It is because of her capacity to accept without passing judgment that she is a trusted confidant and a genuine friend. She faces storms not with the denial of pain, but with the acceptance of struggle, knowing that it is in the challenge that one grows and that one learns. And finally, her strength in the face of adversity is the cornerstone of her essence. She is able to withstand the storms without denying the pain. These qualities are not unique to Stoic women, rather, they are goals that we should strive to achieve throughout our lives. The Stoic woman, on the other hand, provides us with a dazzling illustration of how to live one's life in accordance with principles that are able to withstand the test of time and circumstances. In doing so, we are extended an invitation to contemplate our own lives and the ways in which we can incorporate these characteristics into our day-to-day lives, thereby possibly becoming more stoic in the overall process. In the event that you are still paying attention, please leave your mark in the comments section by writing "I am Stoic." Let's continue our conversation about the significance of emotional control and self-sufficiency. Consider the experience of walking on a path that is unfamiliar to you, where each step reveals not only the splendor of the landscape but also the difficulties that it presents. Take into consideration the possibility of traversing this path with an internal compass, one that directs you through both calm and difficult times. With this is the power of emotional control and self-sufficiency, two fundamental pillars of Stoicism that women in today's society are rediscovering and incorporating into their lives as a source of inner strength and tranquility. First, let's talk about the process of coming to terms with oneself. It is a path that leads us to the most profound part of our being, where we discover our genuine values, away from the noise and expectations of the world outside of ourselves. For women who make the decision to adopt Stoic lessons, this journey is comparable to an adventure toward inner tranquility, a state of peace that is not shaken by the storms that life brings. Imagine for a moment that you are confronted on any given day with the pressures of work, the expectations of society, and even the minor frustrations that you experience on a daily basis. Your ability to maintain emotional control becomes your most valuable ally in times like these. It enables you to confront these circumstances not as insurmountable obstacles, but rather as opportunities to practice patience, understanding, and most importantly, resilience. It's almost as if, in the midst of the most chaotic situation, you discover a haven of peace within yourself. Then there is the issue of self-sufficiency. Now, this is not about isolating yourself or asserting that you do not require the assistance of anyone else. It's about acknowledging that you have the capacity to overcome obstacles, make intelligent choices, and discover contentment within yourself without being dependent on the approval or validation of other people all the time. Simply put, that is freedom. Not only were historical figures such as Seneca and Marcus Aurelius philosophers, but they were also experts in the art of living. Their words, which are replete with Stoic wisdom, are particularly relevant to women in today's society. The lesson that they teach us is that it is essential to live our lives in accordance with our own values, rather than simply following the crowd. They motivate us to contemplate our lives, to appreciate the peace that comes from keeping the mind at ease, and to look for the greater good not only for ourselves but for everyone else in our immediate environment. So, how can we put these teachings into practice in our contemporary lives? In the beginning, there are baby steps. Every time we make the decision to respond rather than react, and every time we make an effort to comprehend before passing judgment, we are engaging in the practice of Stoicism. Currently, we are constructing an inner fortress that will shield us from the storms that come from the outside world and lead us to a life that is more satisfying and meaningful. To tell you the truth, the Stoic path is not an easy one to travel. Courage, self-discipline, and most importantly, honesty with oneself are all necessary components. For women who choose to pursue this course of action, however, the benefits that they will receive are priceless tranquility, strength, and a profound sense of being at peace with who they truly are. And in the course of this journey of self-discovery, emotional control and self-sufficiency emerge not merely as instruments, but as genuine gifts for a life that is lived with purpose and to the fullest extent possible. The following is an analogy between feminine personalities and nature. Just for a moment, picture yourself traversing a thick and mysterious forest. Life is pulsating in an infinite number of forms all around you, each of which has its own essence and purpose. There are many different kinds of trees that you come across in this maze of life, and each one of them represents a different kind of feminine personality. The alpha women, who are naturally leaders and whose presence is as striking as that of great oaks, are the ones who dominate the landscape. They are imposing and robust figures who dominate the landscape. Furthermore, there are those who are more subtle and adaptable, known as beta women. These women, much like willow trees, are able to adjust and flow with the wind, thereby contributing to and enhancing the environment that they are a part of through their grace and resiliency. However, as you continue on your journey, your attention is drawn to a tree that stands out not because of its grandeur or its adaptability, but rather because of its steady and unchanging presence. The Stoic woman is represented by this tree, which is imposing and majestic, but does not make a conscious effort to attract attention. She is the equivalent of an old sequoia in that she is uncommon, powerful, and deeply rooted in the ground. Her strength, in contrast to that of the others, does not originate from the desire to dominate or to conform to the expectations of others. Rather, it is derived from her unbreakable connection with the core of life and with her own being. It is difficult for those who only look at her superficially to recognize the Stoic woman, because the true beauty and strength of the Stoic woman lie within the depths of her being. The reason she is like a tree that stands firm against the storms is not because she is looking for the sunlight for herself. Rather, she is aware that by remaining true to who she is, she can provide protection and shade to those who come to her. There is a point of tranquility and inner strength at the center of all the chaos that is life in the forest, and her presence serves as a silent reminder of this fact. When viewed through the lens of this forest metaphor, every type of feminine personality, whether it be alpha, beta, or stoic, plays an important part in maintaining the ecosystem's diversity and equilibrium. The Stoic woman, on the other hand, teaches us a unique lesson, just like the distinctive tree that she represents, which is the beauty of silent resilience and the depth of character. By demonstrating that we can face adversity with grace and at the same time be a sanctuary of peace and wisdom for others, she demonstrates to us that we can do this by remaining steadfast in our values and truth. Consequently, as you visualize yourself strolling through the woods, take some time to contemplate the various qualities and characteristics that each tree, as well as each woman, brings to the world. Remember that the Stoic woman is a beacon of inspiration, guiding us through the forest of life with serenity and unwavering determination. This is a beautiful reminder that amidst the infinite diversity of nature, the Stoic woman is a quiet and resilient strength. The promotion of the electronic book. Discover how to cultivate resilience, achieve prosperity, and strengthen your relationships by reading the ebook titled Stoicism in the 21st Century: Ancient Strategies for Modern Challenges. This ebook will reveal the secrets of ancient wisdom that can be used to overcome the challenges that are present in the 21st century. Be sure to take advantage of this chance and get your copy right away. Include a link in the comment that has been pinned. Stoic resiliency and wisdom as tools for living through life. What is the first thing that typically comes to mind when we think of Stoic women? Most likely, the concept of strength is the first thing to consider. However, that strength is not that obvious or visible. More than anything else, it is an internal force, a kind of power that is not audible but reverberates in every action and every word. Furthermore, when it comes to words, they do not throw them away. When it comes to them, direct communication is comparable to a business card. Just for a moment, try to picture conversations in which there is no in-depth discussion, where every sentence has its own significance and value. One could say that it is both invigorating and essential at the same time. But what is it about this communication that makes it so powerful? Perhaps it is the self-assurance that they experience within themselves. It is not something that they proclaim loudly from the rooftops. Rather, it is more of a sparkle in their eyes and a posture that conveys the message, "I know who I am." Furthermore, this self-confidence does not originate from praise from others, but rather from a profound awareness of their own capabilities and limitations. Furthermore, in the event that life suddenly decides to alter the course of events, their adaptability absolutely shines through. Despite the fact that many of us are easily shaken by changes, Stoic women see in these twists the opportunity to develop and progress. They move with the flow of life, much like a river that bends and flows like the contours of the landscape. Being able to lead by example is something that comes naturally to someone who is always moving forward. Individuals are naturally drawn to them because of their honesty and the way that they motivate others simply by being who they are. It is not that they are looking to take control of the situation. And that, my dear friends, is the kind of leadership that inspires inspiration and transforms without imposing one's will on others. I want you to think about a person who exudes an air of mystery, who makes you curious and makes you want to know more about something. To say that is to be mysterious. There is something about the way Stoic women exude an aura that compels us to discover the secret to their calm and their unassuming strength. And they have very little time for chit-chat or trivia. The most important thing for them is to concentrate on building and making something that has significance. This detachment from conversations that are not considered to be important is, in fact, an invitation to examine the things that are truly significant in life. Isn't it nice to be able to judge other people? On the other hand, they opt for the more difficult path, which is to comprehend and acknowledge. Every single one of us is on a different path, carrying with us our own set of difficulties and triumphs. This approach, which does not seek to pass judgment, serves as a potent reminder of the complexity of the human experience. It should come as no surprise that they exhibit such resilience when the storms of life strike. Each and every challenge presents an opportunity to grow and acquire knowledge. The question is not how to avoid falling, but rather how to get back up after you have fallen. When it comes to Stoicism, there is a particular aspect that a lot of people get wrong, particularly with regard to women who practice this philosophy. This is the equilibrium between emotion and reason. People have the misconception that being Stoic means being emotionless and icy. However, as you can see, the very opposite is true. Stoic women are true artists in this regard because they are able to strike a balance between logic and emotion, which is an art form. They are aware that feelings are not adversaries, rather, they are signals and messages that, if properly interpreted, can lead us down courses that are more enlightened. Imagine you are in the midst of a challenging circumstance, the kind that causes your heart to race and your mind to be in a state of constant turmoil. The most straightforward way to react would be to allow a surge of feelings to take control, right? The Stoic woman, on the other hand, is such a survivor that she rides that wave. With the help of her emotional intelligence, she is able to identify each feeling for what it truly is. Ah, this is anxiety, she might think, and here's a bit of fear and maybe a pinch of excitement. Rather than repressing these feelings, she chooses to accept them. However, accepting them does not mean that you will be ruled by them. To put it another way, it's more like saying, okay, I'm feeling this now, but what can I learn from this? How can this help me make a better decision? Reason comes into play here, hand in hand with emotion. As a result of this partnership, she is able to view the situation from a more expansive and composed vantage point. Her choices become more considered, and her actions become more deliberate. A conscious use of emotions, integrating them into the thought process in a way that enriches the human experience rather than impoverishing it, is not the same thing as denying the existence of emotions. This equilibrium brings about an extraordinary clarity. In situations where you are able to control your feelings and make use of them in conjunction with logic, making decisions becomes less about reacting in the heat of the moment and more about responding in a manner that is considered. And that, my dear friends, is a potent statement. Your ability to navigate through emotional storms with a firm rudder in hand is comparable to having a superpower in the real world, where you are not tossed around by emotional storms but can instead navigate through them. But Stoicism, on the other hand, is not a form of self-suppression but rather a form of emotional alchemy that women engage in. As a result of their ability to transform feelings into allies and integrate them with rational thought, they make every decision and every step that is taken more meaningful, more well-informed, and ultimately more human. The fact that feeling deeply and thinking clearly are not opposites but rather complementary is brought to our attention by this reminder. It is in this balance that we discover not only the essence of Stoicism, but also the key to a life that is richer and more meaningful. Sustainability and minimalism. Oh, and there's one more thing that quite defines Stoic women, and that is the way that they view the world around them, particularly in terms of minimalism and sustainability. It's almost as if they take a look at life and say, less is more, and no, I'm not just talking about having fewer things, I'm talking about valuing more what truly matters. Imagine for a second the sense of fulfillment that comes from living with only the necessities, knowing that every item you own and every decision you make serves a function and has a reason for existing. The essence of Stoic women is found in the concept of minimalism. Decluttering the house is not the only thing that needs to be done, although that is also very important. It is about ridding our lives of unnecessary things and distractions that divert our attention away from the things that are truly significant. In addition, this search for simplicity extends even further. You should know that it has an effect on everything, from the insignificant choices that people make on a daily basis to the major decisions that they make in their lives, such as how they consume, how they work, how they relate to other people, and how they interact with the planet. There is a powerful statement that can be made in a world that frequently seems to revolve around more by choosing to live a lifestyle that is sustainable and minimalist. Through the implementation of sustainable practices, they are demonstrating that every action is significant and that every decision has an effect. And although recycling and reducing consumption are both important aspects of the problem, they are not the only ones. It is about having a more profound understanding of our position in the world, about being aware of the fact that we are a component of something much larger, and about being aware of the fact that our health and well-being are inextricably linked to the health of our planet. On the other hand, there is minimalism, which places an emphasis on the fundamentals. Stoic women are able to clear up more space, more time, and more energy for the things that truly matter to them when they make the decision to live a simpler lifestyle. And don't you think it's incredible how we can learn more about ourselves by getting rid of the excess material things in our lives? Instantaneously, clarity emerges in a place where there was previously only confusion. There is a sense of purpose that may have been concealed beneath the heaps of things that we believed we required, but that were, in reality, just weighing us down. Not only does this way of living require a certain amount of physical space, but it also requires a certain amount of mental space. Stoic women are, in a sense, contributing to the redefining of wealth through their adoption of sustainable practices and minimalism. Having more is no longer the focus, rather, it is about being more. It is a life that is more focused and intentional, in which every decision and every action is made with complete awareness of the value and implications of those choices and actions. In conclusion, what these Stoic women are actually demonstrating to us is a way of life that is not only very old, but also extremely pertinent to the challenges that we are facing in this day and age. Not only do they encourage us to inquire about what is truly significant, but they also serve as a reminder that in order to discover the answer, we must sometimes refrain from amassing and instead begin to simplify. It is an invitation to live life to the fullest, with more richness and with much less. Female resiliency in professional settings at the core of the lives of many Stoic women is a profound appreciation for the concept of sustainability as well as a love for the concept of minimalism. In spite of this, let's get one thing straight: when people talk about minimalism, they are not simply referring to the concept that less is more, although this is also true. It is about delving into the core of things and making the conscious decision to live in such a way that everything, including every action, carries significance and relevance. This is not restricted to the things that they possess, rather, it permeates all of the decisions that they make, whether it be in their personal lives, their professional lives, or even the act of consuming itself. And do you know what makes it so fascinating? By accepting this simplicity, they find that they have a tremendous amount of freedom. In addition to liberating physical space, the goal is to simplify life in such a way that it becomes less burdensome and, paradoxically, more satisfying. Also, this lifestyle that is both sustainable and minimalistic. In the end, it turns out to be a natural extension of this life philosophy, reflecting a desire to live with intention and concentrating on what truly matters at this moment. If we take this conversation to the professional environment, things become even more interesting. Imagine working in a world that is frequently characterized by intense competition and rigid hierarchies. The Stoic woman stands out in this passage. Even though she does not necessarily seek the spotlight, she is revolutionary in her approach to work. This is not because she is trying to attract attention. She operates according to the same Stoic principles of concentration, resiliency, and simplicity, concentrating on her own performance and contributions rather than allowing herself to become preoccupied with concerns regarding the actions and judgments of other people. Not only does this afford her the ability to navigate the complexities of the work environment with an enviable level of calm, but it also enables her to establish a presence that is both influential and respected. It is almost as if she naturally ascends to positions of genuine leadership because she is able to keep her integrity and concentrate on the things that she has the ability to truly control. The leadership that is achieved is not one that is achieved through power plays, rather. It is a leadership that encourages positive change, inspires and motivates others. What is truly remarkable about this situation is the way in which these women, armed with Stoic wisdom, not only transform their own personal lives, but also positively influence the environments in which they are involved. Whether it be through choices that are sustainable and minimalistic, which challenge the status quo of consumption, or through their approach to work that is resilient and focused, they demonstrate that living according to Stoic principles is not only possible, but also profoundly transformative. Since you have made it this far, I am aware that you are putting a lot of effort into your development. Leave your thoughts on strength and resilience in the comments section. Why don't we keep going? A dedication to one's own personal development and growth on an ongoing basis. Stoic women are characterized by their unyielding dedication to their own personal development and growth, which is at the core of their characteristics. However, what does that actually mean when it comes to use? Together, let's remove this tangled mess. Imagine a person who, on a daily basis, makes the conscious decision to stand in front of the mirror, not only to make adjustments to their hair or clothing, but also to engage in critical self-analysis, always looking for ways to improve upon themselves from the previous day. Stoic women are characterized by their unwavering commitment to the pursuit of continuous improvement, which is exemplified by this. Personal growth is not something that she views as a box that can be checked off as completed. Rather, she sees it as an unending journey, a path that is created by walking. For her, each day is a fresh start, an opportunity to acquire new knowledge, and a step toward becoming a slightly more experienced, more resilient, and more complete version of herself. While it is true that acquiring new knowledge and skills is an essential component of continuous learning, it is not the only aspect of this process. The goal is to acquire a more profound comprehension of oneself, the world around them, and the ways in which one's actions can positively affect both of these aspects. Are you aware of something that is even more fascinating? Instead of viewing every experience, every challenge, and every setback as a barrier to growth, she views them as golden opportunities for personal development. That promotion that did not materialize, that project that did not go according to plan, and even those moments of uncertainty and doubt are all factors that serve as fuel for her journey of personal development. The Stoic woman is aware of the fact that the road to character excellence is not only paved with resounding successes, but also with small victories, painful learnings, and the courage to get up after each fall they experience. In addition, she is not only improving her own well-being through this process, but she is also making a more significant contribution to the community. As a matter of fact, she becomes a source of inspiration and a living example of how to face life with grace, courage, and a healthy dose of Stoic wisdom when she strives to become the best version of herself. We appreciate your participation in this journey with us. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and share your thoughts with us. It is gratitude.